This is the update video to the earlier video of the review on the trailer. Now that we've had a chance to take it out, get used to it, see what works, what doesn't work. We've got our setup just charging our Blue Eddy inside right now. It was running the TV most of the night. Our house batteries were running the furnace and water pump and everything else, as you would imagine. And I'll show you the battery setup here after not too long. But rode with the bikes in the back just fine. They survived no problem. We've got everything pretty set up, pretty nice, I think. This is kind of the landscape of where we're at. We're out in Arizona. Gonna go out and do some riding out here, and not a bad deal. Anyway, let's take you up front, and I'll show you the house battery setup that I've set up for it and everything else. So I did put an electric jack on it because I'm lazy. We ran the furnace. It was, I want to say, around 30 degrees most of the night, maybe even a little less than that. Our propane, just a single tank, held out just fine. We still have plenty. I'm not concerned at all about making it through 2-3 nights. If it was more than that, I'd probably want to put a dual tank setup on it, which I'm sure I will. This is the house battery that we're set up with right now. We only used, I think it was like 6 amp hours last night, I think, if I remember correctly. I wish I would have saved it, but 300 amp hour battery, the Victron Smart Shunt, so we can tell what we're using. This is just from a Harbor Freight special. Put that on just so I had somewhere to put the batteries that were, I don't know, a little bit more stable. Plus, with such an expensive battery, I didn't want to take a chance of it getting stolen or just keeping it out of sight. So, you know, it's not like it would be hard for anyone to get into this box, but it's harder than it just sitting out in the open. So, what I did is I 3D printed some blocks, drilled holes through it, and then bolted all 4 ends of it. And then I took a strap that I got, I think, from Ace. I bolted it through the blocks, and then that's my battery strap. I know this fuse isn't rated for this high amp, like for this high of an amp hour battery, but it's what I had on hand, and something is better than nothing. But that will be changed out sooner or later. Just haven't got around to doing that quite yet. I did have to move the regulator for the propane down and out of the way so I could actually get this box to open. So I just took a piece of scrap steel, made an extension out of it. I should have probably painted it, but yeah, we'll get there one day. And so when propane's hooked up, you can't open the box or unlock it because the propane tank's in the way. So I guess a little added difficulty into getting in here, but I'm sure I've got plenty of stuff I'll be throwing in here. I just haven't really gone through to sort out what needs to go in here, what needs to go somewhere else, so on and so forth. Take you around inside real quick. So that's the Blue Eddy. We've got it set up just there just for the TV. And so once the day gets past a half day, sun will be out over on this side. I'll open up this window, run the cable over for the 30 amp off the Blue Eddy, and if the solar on the roof hasn't charged the house batteries all the way, then we'll go from there. We're sitting at, solar's producing 13.4. Wait, is that what it was? Yeah, solar is 13.4 volts. Battery's at 13.5. We're pushing 3 amps through that 100 amp or a 100 watt panel. So, everything worked wonderfully. Sink's been working good, no leaks, no issues. Used the stove last night a couple of times. Same thing, worked great, no issues, except for it kept it, not the carbon monoxide alarm, but the fire alarm was going off like every single time it would start. That was annoying, but it is what it is. It's fine. And then I haven't had a chance to use the microwave yet. We will here shortly, probably once we get the Blue Eddy charged up a little bit more. Blue Eddy, I think this is a 200L. Yeah, AC 200L. And the TV was only pulling 30 watts. we didn't have even a remote problem with it running the TV pretty much all night. 1.5 hours to charge. It's a 300, I believe it's a 350 watt panel out there. And yeah, this thing's been a champ, charging our phones and running the TV and everything else, as you'd imagine. So it's been doing great. That's after a full night's use. It's been charging for about an hour, maybe a little bit less. So yeah, super happy with that. And then so yeah, we're gonna plug the 30 amp into the RV later, and we will make some food out of the microwave just to make sure that that's working. That was the whole idea of, I wanted to come out just to come out, but I really wanted to make sure I kind of stress tested everything. Not stress tested, but at least thoroughly tested everything to make sure that there's no issues I need to be looking out for. Furnace ran all night, no problem. On, off, on, off, on, off. It's not super loud. I was expecting it to be quite a bit louder. I mean, I sleep with the TV on, so I deal with noise while I'm sleeping much better than most people. So keep that in mind, but furnace was great. The only thing that was not so great, having this open, we have it open for our gear and you know, dirt bike gear, and you know, we've got our ladder and everything in here, which you know, it usually just rides on the floor once we're moving, but yeah, so we just use this for our gear. And it was terrible last night having that open because it has zero insulation to it, which is obvious. It's a tent, but I was expecting to keep a little bit out. No, it doesn't keep any cold out. We dropped the cover for it. You can't zip the middle because the zipper's up on the top of that post. So we zipped around the sides and got it as closed up as we could, and that helped. But tonight we were 100% closing that up because it was the temperature shift from when the furnace was on and then when it would kick off, how fast it would get cold in here was crazy. So we're going to shut that tonight. We'll see how that goes. I'll update you on that to let you know how much better it is, if it is any better, which I would imagine it should be, but we'll see. That's the bed layout. I did wake up once or twice with my feet hanging off the edge, but it didn't bother me. I didn't even notice it until I was actually like paying attention. It wasn't super bad. We did put a new mattress on it other than the one it came with, because the one it came with was horrible. And I'll have to go back and see where we got this one, but it's a gel memory foam mixture type deal or something like that. Works great. Super thin. It's only 6 inches thick, but and so it makes it, you know, stiffer than what, you know, if you like a soft bed, it's still going to be pretty stiff, but definitely manageable when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Totally acceptable. Fridge. That's an interesting one. The fridge. In my last video, I mentioned about how the fridge actually cools the freezer. That's where all your cooling is. The fan back there is what pushes any of that cool down into the fridge, and that's how the fridge cools. Your actual thermostat for both of them is the bottom one. This is just a diverter valve back here, and so I have this cranked almost to max, and I have the diverter valve for the freezer on low, and this freezer is, as you would expect, frozen. It's cold, and everything on the top shelf gets absolutely like super cold super fast. Everything under it takes hours and hours and hours to cool. Expected, because it's only blowing out of those two little holes there. So it does work. Everything's cooled down. Everything's good, you know, after letting it sit all night. But yeah, having that pretty much close to max is yeah, like guaranteed gonna happen. Haven't showered, but the toilet's been working fine. Everything works fine that way. All the electricity's all electricity, it's been working fine. All of our outlets have been working fine. I did have one more issue. This GFI is the one that's linked to the outdoor GFI. It was not sealed, so I had it plugged in to shore power, charging up the house batteries, and there was a break in the seal here, or in the silicone, and I think water got down into that, shorted it, popped this GFI, and that killed it. So I had to go get a new GFI, replace this, and now both are working. I've resealed that obviously, and we're good that way. Don't have a lot of storage. Storage is like the hardest thing in this thing. So I would love to put some cabinets up. I don't think I'm going to put anything here. I might put like a shelf across the front if I can find something to anchor to back there. But I am definitely going to see about putting cabinetry in here somewhere. I don't know where, but something's got to change. There needs to be more storage space for sure. So outside of that, I think that's about everything. Haven't had any problems. Like I said, the bikes rode down here just fine. I'll get another shot too once we're packed up and we're leaving with the bikes in here, and how we've got the trailer kind of loaded up, so you can see how it works for us, how much space there is with 2 dirt bikes. 3 would probably be, you know, I'm sure you could fit 3 in here. It'd be pushing it. You'd have to have one spun so you're not banging bars together. Or like a stool or something in front of the front tire and the 3rd bike in the middle. Push the bars back a little bit. Yeah. So we'll come back towards the end of the trip once we're packed up and give you a look around in here and go from there. All right. I almost forgot, but this is what it's like with 2 bikes in there. I've got them kind of leaned apart from each other, but yeah, 3 bikes would be fine. Anything more than that I think is going to be too much. But that's what she looks up all packed up. So, yeah, that's everything.